Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play with AK featuring me, your host Akukami. In this StarCraft 2 episode, we'll be taking a look at a game I played on ladder. This is going to be a TVZ matchup on Antigua Shipyard. Let's get right into it. Starting off in the 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock position is me, spawning as the blue Terran player. Meanwhile, my opponent Sid has spawned in the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock position as the red Zerg player. A little bit about myself as a StarCraft 2 player. I am a low gold, high silver Terran player on the North American server. It's the only server I play on, so if you happen to see my name on any other server except this one, it's probably not me. This is actually my first gaming video, and I do plan on making other gaming videos, some kind of playthroughs or walkthroughs. And I started with this idea after watching other people and their gaming videos, and they were having a good time, and I decided to try this out for myself and have a good time of my own. So doing this mostly for fun, and I hope you enjoy my first video. I'm not too keen on when things are building, so please excuse my supply count. I mean, I really don't play any other race except Terran, and I do know some of the Terran. Well, I do know the opening Terran structure, but not too much on Protoss and Zerg, so please excuse my ignorance. Meanwhile, coming down with my 10 supply depot, going for that full wall off in the front of my ramp. At least I know when I build my own stuff, right? And coming down with my 12 racks, going for that full wall off at the front of my ramp. Going to be coming out with a supply depot right here. And coming down with my 13 refinery. Meanwhile, back in my opponent's base, he's gone for a spawning pool and an extractor of his own. And we'll be mining from it right away. Doing the same in my own base. And yes, going for some early upgrades or some early tech. You'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, my opponent has scouted me in my base and is getting that all-important information. Coming down with my orbital, changing my command center into my orbital, and producing my first marine and hoping to shoot his overlord scout down before it gets too far. Meanwhile, back at my opponent's base, I've scouted that he does not have any kind of expansion going, and as such, I figured he's either going for some kind of one base baneling or roach push. And just to make sure that he's going for that, I send my scout to go check for any other hidden expansions at his base. Meanwhile, my opponent has Meanwhile, I've shoot away my opponent's overlord scout and managed to do quite a significant amount of damage to it. Not being able to kill it, but when it comes back into my base, I'll be able to shoot it down easily. Meanwhile, I've gone ahead and put my factory right here. You're going to see why in a moment, why I put my factory there. Back at my opponent's base, as I suspected, he's going for a baneling bust, followed up with some speedlings. As you can see here, he's going for a metabolic boost. And yeah, just keeping my opponent's overlord scout at bay, because I really don't want him to scout out what I'm going to be doing next, which, as you can see right here, is what I'm doing. I'm going for a 1-1-2 opening, and if you don't already know what's coming, I'm going to be placing down 2 tech labs here, and I'm going for 2-port Banshee. Yes, 2-port Banshee. Some people consider that cheese, but I don't think there's really such a thing as cheese. I mean, it's a strategy that works against the Zerg in the early game because they don't have too many anti-air defenses. So, you know, why not go ahead and exploit that weakness? Meanwhile, coming back into my base with my marines and setting up some bunker defense, because I know he's coming in with that baneling bus soon. Meanwhile, streaming Zerglings to my second expansion area, and I scout out that he does have banelings morphing in, so I prepare myself for that. Meanwhile, going to be beginning my Banshee production soon, and sending it straight to, wait, why am I, oh, okay, sending it to my opponent's base a little bit before my opponent's base. And so Sid is moving out with his first attempt at a bust. Probably should have sent out his banelings before his lings, but well, a little bit of a mistake there, and decides to pull out before losing any more of his units, figuring out that he's probably going to need some more reinforcements to bust down this wall. Finishing up with my 2 Banshees in a moment, and as you're going to see in a little bit, I don't come out with Cloak right away because I want to start building my my second set of Banshees right away, so that's why I forego the Cloak research. When I do this 1-1-2 opening, it's not really an all-in. I'm not going for an all-in. If I happen to win, because my opponent is not prepared, woohoo. But this is not really an end game. Is not really what I'm going for. Meanwhile, coming into my opponent's base with my first 2 Banshees, he only has this 1 queen for anti-defense, and that's all he has. Coming out with his Roach Warren, but roaches, as you know, don't shoot upwards, and same thing with the Spine Crawler. Doing massive amounts of damage in his base. Meanwhile, back at my own base, continuing my own Banshee production, and finally starting that Cloak research, and coming down with an expansion, just in case this 1-1-2 Fourth Banshee push fails. Realizing that he's on the verge of losing everything in his base, he goes for one final attempt at bust in my base, sending out his banelings first and having them take down at least 1 supply depot. And this is pretty much game because he doesn't have any anti-air defense, he's not mining anything, and realizing this, he just goes ahead and leaves the game. My opponent had 1 Overlord tucked away in my base, and if he actually brought it down here, he would have seen some kind of funny business, and he would have seen these 2 starports building, and he would have at least prepared adequately, build extra queens, throw out an evolution chamber for spore crawlers, and he would have been safe against my Banshee harass. Scouting out banelings morphing in my base gave me a leg up on the game because it reaffirmed what I was already thinking was coming, which was a baneling bust. By the time my opponent realized I had Banshees in play, it was too late. He did not have enough queens to fend this off, nor did he have an evolution chamber up for some spore crawlers. And this was pretty much game at the point. Alright guys, this is my first gaming video. If you like my content and videos, please subscribe to my channel, and thumbs up and like this video. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again on another episode of Let's Play with AK.